So I read a lot of books in August, but not a lot of them are on my TBR. So let's check them out. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Zach with Zach's Books, and today I've got for you my August wrap-up. And I read a very good amount of books this month, but not a lot of them stayed true to my TBR, which is, of course, going to happen. And so today I'm going to share with you the books that I read. Let's get started. Also, just letting you guys know, I do have a lot of this on my Goodreads. Whether or not I just did a star rating, I'm not sure, but we'll link it down below, and some of them should have reviews and some of them should be star ratings, so you'll be able to see that in my Goodreads. First up, I've got The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon by Stephen King. This is a really good book. Girl gets lost in the woods, huge Red Sox fan, and the closer's name is Tom Gordon, the guy who saves the games. And so it's like she's like listening to him on a radio, and so this her like way of like surviving is like listening to the radio and like keeping hope. Like, you know, she starts seeing like Tom Gordon every now and again, and it was just a really good book, and I really enjoyed it. So that was The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. Next up is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. This was weird. It was about like some weird like psychedelic horror like IKEA, and like the chapters are like labeled as like furniture pieces, and they just kind of get more obscure towards the end. It was really good. I did it as a buddy read with my wife, and we both really enjoyed it. We thought it was really good. The concept was good. At some point, I kind of got lost. I don't know what happened. It was towards the end, like right before like things got dark and it kind of went to hell. But then I was able to pick it back up and finish it off and understand what was going on. So I recommend this book if you like. You know, if you work at like a retail store or something like that, like this is like kind of like thinking about like what happens when the store is closed, like what happens when you're not there. And so I really enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend it. So that is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. Next on my August wrap-up is Clown in Cornfield by Adam Caesar. This was a really good book. I did a reading vlog on this. We'll post that up above. It was a really good book, and it's exactly what I needed. I had not read like a clown book since It, all the way back in like February or March, and so I kind of needed it, and kind of helped me get some inspiration on a book I might be writing. Maybe, you don't know. But otherwise, it was really good, and I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it. Clown in a Cornfield, Adam Caesar. So this next three I did a reading vlog on for Gabby Reed's recommendations, and it was part 1. So the books I have in that, I've got The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. It was alright. It wasn't my favorite, but it also was not my least favorite in these reads, and you'll see which one was my least favorite coming up. But The Cabin at the End of the World is pretty cool. A little girl gets like talked to by these group of 4 people, and then they invade their house. Her parents, Eric and Andrew, it's a gay couple, and they have this cabin, and they're like, yeah, you have to do this. You guys have to make a sacrifice, otherwise like bad stuff's going to happen in the world. And like each day they don't, something happens. Like a hurricane hits a town, then like a flood hits another town. It's weird stuff. It was a really good book. I was pretty upset with something that did happen in the book. I'm not going to try and spoil anything for you guys with this. If you want, check out the reading vlog. And it was alright. It was alright. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. That is The Cabin at the End of the World, Paul Tremblay. Next up is Bird Box by Josh Malerman. This was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. It stayed true to the movie, or well, I should say vice versa. The movie stayed true to this, and I really enjoyed this book. I also read the sequel, Mallory. I did have a physical copy of it, but it's from the library, so we had to return it, so I don't have that to show you, which I feel naked without that book. So, otherwise, Bird Box and Mallory were both really good reads, really good books, and I highly recommend them. I like to see where he goes from here with this series. Bird Box ended pretty much right where Mallory picked up, and so Mallory then ended with some pretty cool stuff, and I want to see where it goes from there. They kind of like... Bird Box is pretty much about like you got to wear a blindfold, otherwise if you see like whatever creature it is that's out there, like it makes you like do bad stuff, whether it's killing other people or you kill yourself. And so in Mallory, they develop a way how to kind of like counter it towards the end. And like the two kids that were in this one are grown up and they're like fighting with Mallory, like saying like, no, we can't do this anymore. Why you keep trying to like protect us? Let us do our own thing. And the boy ends up making a pretty cool discovery, and I highly recommend reading both books. If you're going to read Bird Box, I recommend reading Mallory. Bird Box is better than Mallory, but Mallory is still a good read. So that is Bird Box and Mallory by Josh Malerman. Next up on the list is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. It was a really good read. It had that really cool haunted house aspect of it, and I highly recommend this book. I'm pretty excited because we're going to have a video coming up where I'm going to be reading the other 3 Riley Sager books. I got no idea what they're called. I totally blank out on their names. But I'm going to be doing kind of like a vlog on that, kind of reading some more by him, and you'll see my full review on his writing and how I enjoy it in comparison to others. But otherwise, Home Before Dark was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. The whole like twist where it's like, okay, this person did it. Nope, this person did it. Nope, this person did it. Kind of keeps going back and forth, and it was really cool, and I really enjoyed reading it. Highly recommend it, and we'll see where I like Riley Sager in the future. Otherwise, that was Home Before Dark. Next on the list is Sour Candy by Keelan Patrick Burke. I always forget the guy's name. It's a really long name. But this book was really good. I really enjoyed it. This was on part 2 of the Gabby Reads recommendations, and she did not disappoint with this one. This was a really irritating book because it was just eerie. It was just creepy. It was scary. It was, oh my goodness. Not enough words can describe this book. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. It's a really short read. I was able to read this in like 2-3 hours, if that. And it was, my goodness, it was a really good book. I like, not enough words can describe it, but I just can't think of the words to describe it. I highly recommend it. Sour Candy. Give it a read, please. Next up is The Brightlands by John Fram. This was not a favorite. I was pretty confused with it. I did this as part of a reading vlog, like I said. Check it out up above. We'll post it up there if you want to take a look at it. And I go more in depth about the book and what I thought about it. I just personally didn't like it as much as the other ones that were recommended. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. Next up was a really messed up book. I'm still slightly confused with what happened with it, but that is Bunny by Mona Awad. Wow, what a weird book this was. I always try and think of how to describe it, but overall I thought it was a good book, and I mean the cover looks pretty cool. Oh my goodness, I don't really know what else to really say about it. It's really good, so I highly recommend this book. So, it's Bunny by Mona Awad. Next up, these last ones are going to be some Stephen King. I know I started with King, going to end with King. The next one up is The Eyes of the Dragon. I was not expecting to read this anytime soon, but I just figured, why not? And I actually was not that mad about it. I know a lot of people don't like it, because it's kind of like not his typical writing, but it actually wasn't that bad of a book. Obviously there are better, and obviously there are worse. This is kind of like middle grade for me. I'd give it like a C+, a B. I do have it on my Goodreads, which obviously we'll post down below, so you can take a look at that. But otherwise, it was alright. It was pretty good. I mean, the ending when the guy's like yelling up some stairs at some guy, that gets kind of annoying after he does it for like 20 minutes. But other than that, I really liked it. And I do recommend it. Give it a read. See if you like it. Eyes of the Dragon. Next up is my conclusion to the series of The Dark Tower. I finished the Dark Tower series this month, and I already want to read it again. But the way I want to do it is I want to read them all continuously. I don't want to read a book, then read 3, then read another one, and so on and so forth. I want to read it, Gunslinger, Drawing of the 3, Wastelands, like all in a row. So I can continue the stories, just whoop, keep going. But otherwise, this was a really good book. There are obviously some disappointing things in here. I did have this as a reading vlog. Don't forget to check that out. And I mean, I'm not going to say much more than that because I said a lot in the reading vlog. So check it out. I highly recommend reading the series. Please read the series. It's really good. But otherwise, that is The Dark Tower. The Dark Tower by Stephen King. Next up was another kind of surprise for me. I'd seen the movie, and kind of like with Christine, I was kind of open-minded with going into the book. But Desperation was actually really good. I mean, I don't know what else to really say about it. It was creepy. It was eerie. So I also read The Regulators, which he wrote as Richard Bachman. And they're kind of like together in the same universe. And so I didn't really have the highest of hopes for this book. But it was good. I mean, I got to read The Regulators again now, just to kind of more or less comprehend, the comparison between the two, because Tak, I think it's Tak, is the evil entity that is coming from somewhere in Desperation, and he just kind of pops up in The Regulators, but then there's some other weird stuff that happens in Regulators. So I gotta reread Regulators. That might end up being higher on my list now that I've read this one. I might get a better understanding of what the hell was going on in Regulators. But otherwise, Desperation, I mean, this was a shocker for me. It might be in my top 10 favorite King of all time now. I recommend it. It's a big book, but I would definitely read it. And that is Desperation, Stephen King. The next two on my list, I'm doing a reading vlog on, and I'm currently doing it, but I'm going to finish them for the month, so I'm including them on this list. And the first one on that is Different Seasons by Stephen King. So Different Seasons, it's got 4 stories in it. Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption, Apt Pupil, The Body, and The Breathing Method. They're all based on like the seasons throughout the year. So far I've read The Shawshank Redemption and I really liked it. I'm not going to tell you guys anything about it. It's all going to be in the reading vlog, and I'm in the middle of Apt Pupil right now. That is how far I am right now. And so far I really like it. So you'll get more in-depth of what I think in the vlog. But so far, Different Seasons, it's been pretty good. And last on my list is another short story collection, and that is Full Dark, No Stars. I didn't know that 1922 was in this, and so I have already read some of this book. The other ones in this book are Big Driver, Fair Extension, and A Good Marriage. So I'm already a fourth of the way done with this one because I've read 1922. I have it on Goodreads. I'm pretty sure I gave it 4 stars. Might have been 3. But I'm excited to get into this one too because it's a more recent one. That's kind of what I was going after with this vlog, is an older collection and a newer collection. Obviously I've read If It Bleeds, so this was the next newest one. Pretty much the idea of the vlog is old collection, new collection, and just compare them and see which ones I like more. So, Full Dark, No Stars, August wrap-up. So there you have it, guys. Those are all the books I read in August. There's a lot of them, and some of them are pretty big. What were some of the ones you read in August? What are your favorites you've read in August? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!